All right, let's get to it. So first off, we're going to load up our milk, and I'm using reduced fat. You can use whatever. 4 cups of milk. Then we've got heavy cream, 2 cups of cream, and a pinch of salt. And like I said in the article, you can substitute more milk and less cream if you want to make it healthier. But in this case, I'm making it a little rich. So we put everything together, bring it to a boil, and let that come to a good boil. And then when it does, take it off the heat. And at that point, we're ready to add our ingredients. And only one ingredient here, vinegar. This is going to curdle the milk, and it might look a little gross, but all you do is just dump it in and stir it around. And again, this is off the heat, so all the residual heat is going to be what's making this curdle. And don't get grossed out here. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and we're going to let it sit for 1 minute to do its thing. After 1 minute, though, I'll show you what this looks like. It's going to separate into curds and whey, just like you hear in the fairy tale, or the nursery rhyme, I guess it is. That congealed part are the curds, and the liquidy part is the whey. So again, it's supposed to look like that. So now we're going to need to strain this guy. And this is where the cheese part comes in. So grab yourself a bowl. You're going to need some kind of a strainer, and I like these. These are cheap, and you can pick these up at Walmart. Really fine mesh strainer. And then if you've ever wondered what cheesecloth is for, other than everything else you use it for, it's actually used for cheese. So get yourself a piece of cheesecloth, just a little square, and put that in your strainer as well. And I like to set this down into my sink because it has a tendency to splash and spill. Also, I'll take a little bit of water and actually wet the cheesecloth so that way it stays in place. Because you'll see when I pour this mixture in there, it tends to slosh a little bit, so I want to anchor this down as much as possible. So just sprinkle some water in with your hands. And I might be a little too meticulous here, but want to try to get everything covered as much as possible. You can always use more cheesecloth if you want, but I'm just kind of being cheap. So now our mixture is ready to go, and our strainer is set up. Let's go ahead and pour that in. And like I said, this is very simple. You're just boiling the milk, adding the vinegar, letting it sit, and then straining it out. So let's get everything in there, and it's just, like I said, it starts to splash a little bit. That's why I like it down in the sink. As it's straining, I typically let this strain from 20 to 30 minutes, but you'll see a lot of liquid comes out. Again, that's all the whey, and all the curds stay on top, and that's what we're going to eat. Every once in a while, you want to dump this out because it won't drain if that water starts touching the actual solid part. But the longer you let it sit, the drier it will get. This has been sitting for about 30 minutes, and a lot of liquids come out. Still a little moist, and that's okay. I like it that way. And so we'll just dump this out into our bowl, and it's ready to go. It's easy as that. Literally 1, 2, 3. You can let it sit longer, and it'll be even more dry. You can kind of see it's a little soupy there. And again, I like it that way, but you can kind of do that to taste. If you like it more watery, more moist, you can pull it earlier, or you can let it dry. But anyways, that's our final product. That's ricotta cheese, homemade. Go out and make yourself some.